Good morning, team. This is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. Hope everybody's well. Was on the phone with Owen, getting everything set up. I think today it's a good day. We always have a lot of things to talk about, lessons, okay? And I want to share a few things with you. And again, you're talking with a guy that's been doing this a long time. And through time, you learn things. A lot of people think, I'm going to get on the bicycle. I'm going to try it for 2 days. I've mastered it. I can go now. Well, it does take a little time. And that's the reason why I post some of the things I do. Not to be irritating, but there are lessons in the tweets, things to look for. If you study them, take the time to study them, it will help you. You're literally getting $1 million education. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. You're getting a $1 million education, knowledge in those tweets, things to look for. Also, I strive to give lessons. Example, I typed this earlier and I didn't do it to be cute, okay, or irritating. That's not conducive to a positive educational environment, all right? And that's really what we want here. This is hard enough. We don't need any frustrations. You know, when I said, glad we didn't buy yesterday, I wanted you all to think, why would he say that? It wasn't to be cute. It was the idea that many of our stocks yesterday were down, but we weren't panicking out, right? Right. We controlled risk. At the same time, we didn't really buy much yesterday. There just wasn't a lot of good things happening. So please always keep that in mind. I will say this, and I know I say it a lot, but I can't stress it. Really good money with no stress or low stress is made when a market is strong, okay? So now we're looking here. The market's a little sloppy here now, right? But this is crucial for all of us. The market may be sloppy, but we know this. We can find sectors that are strong. I'm going to give you a case in point here. And again, what is our foundation, team? You all know this. You all know this well enough. I think most of you could teach it. If somebody says, what's Pat Walker do? Well, I'll tell you what, this is what Pat Walker does. He looks at the leading sectors, the leading industry groups, most likely the top 20 to 40 industry groups. And then he looks for the great stocks in those groups. And then he looks for clean and simple base entries that a 5th or 6th grader could see and draw with a crayon. And when it pushes through those tops, those clean and simple tops, Pat and the team, they'll buy it if there's volume there. That's what they do. I'm not saying that to be cute or funny, but it really synopsizes what we do, all right? And it works. Now, I'm going to be pragmatic. Does it work every time? Nothing works every time. Let's do Bill O'Neill. If Bill O'Neill thought, if everything Bill O'Neill did worked, he wouldn't have to have a sell rule of limiting losses, would he? But it doesn't. And I'm not casting stones at Bill O'Neill, okay? He's a great guy. Changed my life. What a nice guy. Just not, hey, how you doing? Just sat down and talking to him. You know, him and I just shooting the breeze. Dude, it was great. It was great. So anyway, we're going through here and let's look. I don't really care about the Dow, okay? Here's the S&P 500 and it's below the 200 day. It's weak. The NASDAQ comp, way below the 200 day. In fact, that 200 day, that purple line's starting to curl down a little bit. There's not a lot of clean and simple. Now let's look at the charts, okay, and analyze them slowly. Apache is in a leading group. It lifted off on a pickup in volume, good pickup in volume, and it's still working, all right? Please note this. This is education. This is not boasting. That's highly frustrating and irritating. I don't do that, okay? I'm just trying to explain show what to look for. You know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, there's 1,000 words in this chart right here. But please, I won't say 1,000 words. AR, lifting, and working. And it's trending up the 8-day. We've sold some. No matter what happens, you make money. But note, it is in a clean base. It had a clean base. And look at the price volume relationship. Look at that up volume. Goes sideways, done. And then it lifts up again on heavy volume. Those are the things that we look for. Arch. Clean and simple. Look at the volume surge. It's in a leading group. And it's working. There we go. CF. I have to bare my soul and share this with you. I will tell you this, honest to goodness. These are things that I wish somebody had said to me. But there was nobody out there. When I started, there was no internet. All right? I had to try to figure all this out. And something that really helped me, a good buddy of mine, Steve, I'll never forget, years ago, I gave a seminar in a brokerage office about chart reading. They asked me to, and he comes up to me, he goes, have you ever read the book by Bill O'Neill, How to Make Money in Stocks? And I go, no. He goes, you got to get that book. I bought that book, I think, that day. That book changed my life. How to Make Money in Stocks. If you haven't read it, buy it and study it. Study it. I encourage you. It will really help you. I promise. I won't waste your time. We got a limited amount of time. So let's continue onward. CEIX, entry here, and it's still working. It's not a huge gain. Price alerts are set, but in a crummy market, it's working. Cleveland Cliff, clean and simple base breakthrough here. Clean tops. There you go. CNQ, clean tops, and it's lifting. All these are in leading groups. DBC, all right, some VIPs own this, all right? And here's a key point on this one. We sold some, right? When you start getting stuff like this, you have to sell, all right? They bought it down here, they ran it up, and here's the beautiful thing. No matter what happens, you're going to make money on this stock, all right? I'm vicious about that, all right? EC, it's working. Price alerts are set. And note the trend up the 8 EMA. I'd like to share this with all of you. By the way, we got an alert going off here on Tesla. Okay, now, Tesla triggered yesterday, and I've advised you, selling. I need to share this with you. This is, and I'm going to enlarge this for you. This is, I'll call it a fancy setup. It's a pullback setup. Pullback setups are more aggressive and less reliable than base breakouts. Please remember that. Please. So how do we control risk in a situation like this? Number one, A, we don't buy. Or B, if we do buy, we buy less shares. And if we buy and we buy less shares, C, we run it tight. If you buy it, taking out this top and moving up, if it starts to fall, you've got to sell some. You've got to sell some. There you go. And control risk. I can't stress that enough. Let's continue onward. CEIX is fine. CLF, entry, and it's working. CNQ, clean and simple base, good volume, and it's working. DBC, some of you own this, and you've sold some into strength on this run. Price alerts are set. Gap down, you can see these cells. See the price alert? I'll raise this up a little bit. If this takes out today's lows, I will advise that you sell more and lock in more profits. And here's the important point. You bought in here, okay? You did not buy up here. Never, I'm asking you please, never buy a stock extended from a proper entry point. If you have the discipline to do that, and I know you do, if you do, it will help you control risk. It will help you make money. EC we've been through, I apologize. EQT, I'm sorry I was repeating on a couple of these. GLD, look at the volume surge on this. Note the trend up the 8 EMA, that is the yellow line. For new VIPs, the purple line is the 200 simple. The green line is the 50 simple. The blue line is the 21 exponential, and the yellow line is the 8 period exponential. Now you pick what you want, okay? I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I use, and it works. And I've used it this century, okay? I'll just tell you that. How about that? So there we go. By the way, you can say, man, it's kind of a grind. I'll be very honest. I find this very, it's mentally challenging, and it's invigorating, and it's extremely rewarding. Not the money deal. That's great, but it's not the money. It's figuring things out and executing properly. That's very satisfying. I like that, and I think you do too. And that's commend you on that. Oh, by the way, I'll answer questions too. I know they'll be coming. So Rich is probably going, yeah, Pat, we got a bunch already, buddy. Let's roll. So there's GLD. Loses the ADMA, we'll sell more for a profit. Lockheed Martin, clean and simple base entry, and it's working. Was in a leading group when it went. Navios Maritime, lifting. May advise to sell some of this given the markets. We'll watch this close. Nothing yet because it's real strong. See how I raised that price alert up there? Starts to fall, we'll sell some. Okay, not yet. We'll watch it. Northrop, look at that. That's what we're after. Clean and simple base entry, good volume, follow through. You're talking 80 points, 80, close to 90 points in 6 days. There we go. That's what we're after. NTR, good entry, and note the trend up the 8 EMA. By the way, have you also noticed, I'm just looking at the daily charts. That's all. That'll really help you. I really, I'm just bearing my soul to you here. XOP, leading group, and it's working. Note the support on the 8 EMA. That's good. Tesla's chopping around, and I advised, don't get sloppy with Tesla. I'm going to pull this back, okay, and show you. This is important. This is very important. It gapped down, it reversed, and it closed up on the day. It did not close that strong. You like it to close near the highs of the day. Notice this bar, it closed near the highs. This bar, it didn't, okay? That is a negative. It's not as strong. Volume was good, but in this market, you got to be cautious. And this was yesterday. And what did it do yesterday? It rallied up to the 21 EMA. How was the market yesterday? Bad. How was the volume on this stock? It wasn't that strong. What do we do in a situation? And I typed it, I was saying, be careful with it. Be careful with it. I can't stress that enough. Notice I said we, not you. If we can keep losses small, if we can control risk, we will be in control. And that will help us make money. That's something else very important. By knowing that, it lessens stress. Stress is debilitating to good decision making. So I need to share this with you all. If you're going through a really rough time, I don't know, somebody's sick, all right? You're sick. You're facing a major surgery, whatever. I encourage you, pull back a little bit in your activity here, all right? There have been a couple of times when I just had to stop. I just quit. One of my best friends had leukemia, and I had to quit. I had to be with him. I left, and that's what I did. So I need to share that with you. Good investing is not just about, finding great stocks, boom, 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 let's go. The biggest part of this game, you've heard me say this, and I said it to the IBD meetup on the stage for years. The biggest part of this game is not what's before our eyes, it's what's between our ears. When things are turbulent, I encourage you to pull back. And you think, I might miss something. Team, it's going to be here tomorrow, and the next day, and the next week, the month, the years. It'll be here. All right? There you go. URA, good entry right there. Lifting, raise that alert. In this market, we may lock a little bit in. Just in case. I'll keep you posted on that, okay? Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Just an overview, synopsis, mindset. And we'll take it one step further, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Please, I'm asking you, take care of yourselves. Not because you're a VIP. No, it goes way beyond that. Because you're a fellow human being that is alive, all right? And it's crucial that we take care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, do that. Do that. Get away from this and, every day, exercise, do something. Do something. It's really good for us mentally. It's good for us psychologically. So just, you can say that has nothing to do with stocks. No, it really has everything to do with it, because if our head isn't screwed on straight, this doesn't work. There you go. So anyway, and these are all things, I will tell you this. Some of you have known me a long time. Some of you in this room have known me since I was less than 10 years old. Okay? And you got to figure things out. We figure things out. So there you go. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Just some thoughts. I'm going to see if there's anything here. Responding to somebody? No. Good eyes. And I will say this. I take your questions very seriously. And I'm not kidding, right? It would be wrong not to. And I don't mean just from a business perspective. I mean from an ethical and moral perspective. Okay, here we go. Let's do that again. Sorry about that. My apologies. So we're sitting here taking a look at this. All right. A little bit of a tail bar here. We want this to hang in there. All right. If not, what do we do? Well, you know what we'll do. We'll sell some. That's simple. Why? To guarantee more profits. But at this point in time, it's fine. There you go. So let's do this. Made a startup video yesterday for everybody, and I just need to stress again, what you will find is if you start getting really fancy with your tactics, your performance will diminish. It'll diminish. And I really encourage you, please try to stay away from the 5-minute charts and really the 10-minute charts. Focus on the bases, the daily basis. There is big money made in this, and I could show you hundreds of past winners for the last 4 years, and you will see a common theme in all of them. All of them had a clean and simple entry. Every one of them. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that helps you. Hey, Rich, we got any questions or anything like that, buddy?
Hey, you got to deal with me today, Pat. I'm running the mic today. Rich is over on YouTube. We're broadcasting live to the entire planet this morning. Can you believe that? I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to be nervous.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm a little nervous. I think I need a drink. Oh gosh.
Are you sweating now?
Yeah, I mean, is it just on this? Are we just on Earth, or are we going anywhere else?
We're just on Earth. We're going to expand beyond Earth next month. This
is great. We'll be able to talk about lunar eclipses and the impact that it has on stock price movement. This is huge. By the way, now you all know when I talk to Owen, that's kind of the way it goes. Here's the best part. He puts up with me.
Hey, let's take a look. Van Heel wants to take a look at ETFs. Can you go through the ETFs in about 25 seconds? Or you can take a full minute if you want.
Sure. No, let's do it. Yeah. Good question. Here we go. It's a great question. By the way, here's my ETF list page. Okay, folks? There we go. Let's go down them. By the way, there's my max list page. See that? There they are. ETF page. I got an oil page. Why? Because oil's super strong, so I kind of want to focus on it. Let's do the ETFs and see what's going on. And I'll go slow enough to be thorough and fast enough to not be irritating. This is the daily chart. I'll shrink it a bit. This is biotechnology. Okay, I put the ticker symbols on there to make it easy for myself too, okay? BBH, it's in a downtrend. What's this been telling us for a long time? Don't buy biotech stocks. It's that simple. Eliminate them. Don't look at them. I might find the one. Why play the game? Then there's ego associated with it. We don't want to do that. Um, Ego can be very counterproductive to good decision making. So we don't do that. Cloud computing was really strong a while ago. We had cloud computing stocks. And now it's nothing. Down below it, we just move on. Electric vehicles. This was really strong a while ago. I mean, we had Tesla, NIO, Lucid. Those were great gains. They're dead right now. Not too much there. Dow Jones Internet. By the way, for everybody, you can always look up here and see what it is. All right? Dow Jones Internet. And what does it tell us? There's not too much going on there, folks. Just leave it alone. Stay. I'll be more specific. Stay away from internet stocks. There you go. Got an alarm alert going off. We're going to go back to 50 in just a minute, okay? We need to look at something. I take this seriously. When I say I'm watching this stuff, I'm watching. I know you are too. There's Tesla again. And I mentioned it earlier. I posted it. This is an aggressive entry. This is why, A, you sell some into strength, but if it starts to fall, you get out. You just get out. You will not see this setup anywhere saying this is a super high probability setup. It had a lower, you see it, at higher low, but it's tougher in this market. So you manage it. Anyway, I apologize, but I just have to be serious with that. Let's go back here. There's the IBD 50 just chopping around. Nothing there. Gold miners. It's hanging in, right? That's good. Gosh, what else is related to gold miners? There's gold in them there hills. Look at the buy on GLD. Look at the volume pickup. We're in this. It's great. I like that. Biotech, another biotech ETF.
Hey, Pat, jump back there to GDX for just a second because Up has a question on it. He was in gold and he's still in GDX and wants to know if he should sell a little bit of that GDX as well.
Oh, good question. Yes, I would. And here's why. This is a good bar, but this bar here, thank you for the question, by the way. I need to share something with all of you too. Never be afraid to ask a question. Don't think, oh man, that might not be a good question. No, if it's a concern of yours, it's a good question. Okay, ask it. Little heads up. It gapped up, it ran up, and it closed below where it opened. You combine that with the price action on GLD, all right? You've got to be careful with that. Watch that. So here it is today, all right? GDX, whipping around a little bit. If you haven't sold any, sell 20% and guarantee yourself a profit. Sell 20%. If it takes out today's lows, sell another 20%. Then you are in great shape. There you go. The real world. I like that. Well done. Let's see. If there's another question, Owen, we can take it. That might be priority.
J8 wants to know, how do you keep from over trading in this type of market environment? He says he's waited, made a few buys, lost a bit of money, waited again, made a few more buys, lost a bit of money last month. So just wondering, how do you deal with this situation?
It's a great question, and it's a real world question. Do less, and say to yourself, and I do this, and you can't catch me in a lie, folks. You see me buying a ton of stocks right here? No. Wait for the clean and simple. Okay? This is some sloppy stuff, and I'll just say it that way. We'll keep it clean. We wait. And you can say, I can't wait, man. I got to make money. No, you know what? A part of making money is not losing money. We'll wait for the clean and simple setups, and they will come again. Believe me, bull markets have not been outlawed. They will come again. And you know what? By focusing on the leading groups, there's money being made. You can say, yeah, no, this market really is not so good. Yeah, okay. Really? Right? Really? I'm just doing these random. Really? Really? It's there, and we'll find it. Wait for those. By the way, do you notice the common theme on these? Clean and simple basis. Focus on that, and that'll help you. Should I keep going through the ETFs real quick, Owen?
Yeah, finish them up there.
Okay. But we'll just do that biotech. There we go. Oh, here. We did 50. GDX, there you go. GLD, there you go. Biotech. In 1 second, this says stay away from biotech. Online retail. In 1 second, it says, hey, stay away from me. Isn't that great? That is so powerful. No, North American technology. Look at this. What does that say? You better be pretty careful with technology. And we have been. It helps us systematize. Medicine, lagging. Okay? Dow Jones Medicine, not so good here, folks. Mid-cap, lagging. Leave it alone. Home builders was really strong. By the way, were we involved with home builders? Yeah. How is it now? It ain't so good. Leave it alone. S&P growth, it's lagging. Be careful. Airlines, lagging. And it was strong at one time, but there's nothing there. We have to wait. Regional banking, lagging. It's below the moving averages. Leave it alone. Biotechnology, another biotechnology ETF. Look at this, folks. Look at that. I've been telling you for a long time. Stay away. Stay away. How often have I said the air is better or worse below the 200-day? Look at this. Goes down to the 200-day, rallies up and falls, rallies up and falls, and that's all she wrote. And you know what's the real sin on all this, folks? This is the real travesty. There are people that still own this. It's the future. Okay. Well, you're going to need some of the drugs they make. Here we go. Mid-cap, nothing going on there. Oil services. Look at this. Are we involved in oil? Yes. Yes. I want you to look at this, and then I want you to go, and we're going to go back to this a minute. Look at that. Look at this. That's ridiculous. And here's oil services. Oh, that's going up in price. That's why we're wrapped up in them. Okay? Need to share all that for you. And I hope that helps. Next one, we're going to finish this. Online retail, be careful. Infrastructure was strong, but it's not doing anything now. You got to wait. Cloud computing, another cloud computing ETF. It's below all the moving averages. Leave it alone. Folks, do you realize how powerful this is? In literally 1 second, you say, I ain't buying any cloud computing stocks. Done. Move on. Steel. Look at this. Are we involved with metals? Yes. Compare and contrast. Cloud computing, bad. Steel, good. Okay, I'll look at steel stocks. Semiconductors, stay away. Solar, still below the 200, a little choppy here. You got to be careful with that, okay? I need to do something here real quick. Hold on. I take the limit alerts very seriously, folks. I take you very seriously. Okay. You own this down here. It's up. The market's sloppy. If you own NMM, and I'm going to post this, I would sell 25% to guarantee yourselves profits. Okay? I'm posting it right now. Nancy Mary. Yeah, I watch these stocks. 25%. And I'm sending it now. And it's sent. There you go. And I hope that helps you. And you know what else I do? I put the note on the chart. That's my little bookkeeping.
It's a very sophisticated method you have there.
It's something. I mean, Owen, I used to write it on the chalkboard, but the dust got all over the office. It was.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're trying to, you know how it goes. I know do you still have your chalkboard up that you write notes on?
I do.
Yeah, see, I remember borrowing yours a couple times before I bought mine, you know. I've moved up to the whiteboard though, but the smell of the markers is awful. Okay, let's.
You ready for another ticker?
Can I finish the ETFs real quick?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, solar leg, we're about done here. Small cap lagging, I'll get this done here. Uranium, look at that. Look at the pickup there. Look at the clean and simple base. There you go. Locked, good. Oil related, it's been strong. We're involved with oil. Aerospace defense, choppy, nothing to do with it. Biotech, nothing to do with it. Home builders, nothing to do with it. Materials, nothing. Energy, oh, look at that. I just showed you a bunch of charts that look awful. This looks pretty good, doesn't it? Are we involved in energy? Thanks. Now you know why. Financials, nothing going on there. Industrials, nothing going on there. Technology, nothing going on there. Consumer staples is lagging, nothing going on there. Leave it alone. Healthcare, nothing going on there. Leave it alone. Consumer, there's nothing going on there. Metals and mining. Oh, I just showed you a bunch of charts that look really bad. Oh, gee whiz. Are we involved with metals and mining? Yeah. Team, I have to tell you this. You scan this every day and just, you can do it. You can say, Pat, how long does it take you to go through them? Oh gosh, I bet it takes close to a minute, maybe a minute and a half. That's it. And I already know where to look and what not to look at. Done. Oil, another oil ETF. Build a case. Retail, stay away. Software, stay away. There you go. Done. That quick. Now we'll go back to this page. Let's see what's going on here. Here's what I do now, team. Because yeah, your stocks are on the front page. You see them? There's APA. I'll raise that alert a little bit. AR is still good. Arch is good. I'm going to raise that alert a little bit too in this market. Tesla. Okay, we've talked about Tesla. Probably you're sick and tired of hearing it. But the rules and tactics work. If you bought it, you were selling, you didn't get sloppy with it, and you kept your loss small. There you go. I can't stress that enough. All right, so I'm taking it off this page. I'm assuming you're out of it. All right, and I may sound a little aggressive there, and I apologize. It's just that I'm very serious about this. And hey, I want you all to make money. And part of making money is making sure we control risk. There we go. Okay, Owen, I'm ready for questions. I'm sorry if I went off a little bit here, but I do believe what I shared is relevant.
Yeah,
okay, brother,
absolutely.
Let's do another one, shall we?
Yeah, Jason wants you to take a look at Alliance Resource Partners.
Is it ARLP, isn't it?
ARLP.
You know what's sad, Owen? That I know these ticker symbols.
Hey, after 4 years, a couple of weeks ago, I found a ticker you had to think about, though.
No, I remember it was
what it
really
was.
weird. Your wife called me and she said, Owen's really hung up. He's trying to find a ticker that you don't know. That's awesome. We lead exciting lives, don't we, folks? Here we go. There's ARLP, Alliance Report. Yeah, it looks fine. It lifted. It's a little loose here. It's indicative of the market. And it pushed through that top. Yes, it had good accumulation. It's in a good group, right? You know that, folks. So energy related, it needs to push through here. What else does it need? We need a decent market, okay? What's the spot? Let's do the real world. This is the daily, take it to the hourly. Oh, you can say, look at that. You think we're the only people in the world? Whoever asked about this, great question. These are good eyes. Look at that. Other people saw what you saw. And you can say, Pat, how can you say that? Look at the volume pickup on that first hourly bar. They were voting. What's holding this beast back right now? The market. Let me refresh this chart. Bear with me just a second. There we go. Good volume on the bar. Just needs to go across these tops right here. That's what it needs to do. And also, team, I will share this with you. Right now, this is the market. This is the S&P 500. And this is the NASDAQ comp. This needs to turn and start going up today before we buy anything. I have a mindset. The market's sloppy. I'm not lazy. I'm not going to argue with it. It's bigger than all of us combined. I just want to get in line with it. If the horse is run in run direction, I'll just hop on the horse and ride it. I'm not going to try to change. So there you go. All right, Owen, let's do another one, shall we?
Take a look at CrowdStrike for Skyforce.
Here we go. CRWD, I think, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Thank you. We owned this a long time ago. You see these notes here? I guess I can take that off. We could probably find out where we owned it by looking at it. What the heck? Let's do. Maybe I can find. Well, there it is. Look at that. By the way, nobody set me up for this. There it is. There was the buy. This was back at, look at that, June of 2021. That's a nice move. There you go. You sell some into strength and you don't let a profit turn into a loss. Done. Okay, let's look at it now. Here we go. Here's a great maxim for everybody. If you focus on stocks above the 50-day and preferably above the 200-day, you will increase your odds dramatically of making money. Making money with less hassle. Dow's down about 400 here, so we're cautious. It's lifting today. That's good. If it could go across these lines here, possible. But let's think about this for a minute. it's gonna have to go up dang near 40 points just to get to that line. It's below the falling 200-day. The market's down 390 points for right. And I know you're not thinking about buying it now, but I will say this. Yeah, this is good. It would be nice if it could base out for a while and then lift through that line with real volume in a good market. But note, there is a ton of overhead supply there. A ton. Overhead supply means there's people that own it up there that still own it, and they're saying, thank heaven, Betty, we get near our price, or thank heaven, Harry, we get near our price, we can sell. That's overhead supply. And it has to chew through that. There you go. Good questions. Oh, I need to share this, by the way, too. A, your questions are great. B, know this. I will never criticize anybody's question. Don't worry about it. I'm not kidding. That would be morally wrong to never kill the human spirit. So, great questions. Keep going. Okay, Owen. Am I done now?
Oh, all done. Except for one or maybe a couple.
Okay,
Craig
bud.
Dog wants to know about BSM, Blackstone Minerals. This
All right,
morning
let's
you
take.
issued a tweet. You sent a tweet out that it was a low volume. It was low volume, and he's saying volume was showing up on 30-minute.
Here we go.
Want to know
Let's
what you
take
were
a look
looking
at
at?
it. Thank you for asking. I know it's in a good group by the name. Had good volume on this bar. Okay? One slight notation here. This is great chart analysis for us. Note this, it gapped up and it closed in the bottom half of its range on heavy volume. It was met with selling. This bar, it gapped up, it closed below where it opened. Heavy volume, but it was met with some selling. Yesterday there was selling, but less volume. Today it pushed across. This is really, there you go. It pushed across that downward sloping trend line. Take it to 30-minute. And look at the volume that came in. There's the first bar. Look at the second bar when it started to follow through. Do you think we're the only people in the world that look at things like this? No, other people did and they voted. Now, look what it's doing now. It ran up and it's starting to pull back. Go back to the daily. This is a very aggressive entry pattern. It's a 3-day pullback setup. It can work, but remember, in this kind of market, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So watch it and see what happens. I encourage right now, team. The market's down 400. The Nasdaq's down 290. Please be cautious. All right. If you do anything, go smaller. Okay. I want you to be successfully investing for your lifetime. I'm speaking from my heart when I say that. All right. That's where I come from. So, all right, should we do another one, Owen, or should we just stop?
Take a look at Golden Ocean. It's GOGL for
Okay.
Sid.
Let's do it.
He says, thank you for your candor. Love your live sessions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. I'll tell y'all something. You think I'm corny to say this? I take this very seriously, and I won't lie to you. I pray for wisdom. I don't pray for money. I pray for wisdom. That I help people and that I don't hurt anybody. And that's not a line from a salesperson. That's from my heart. That's where I come from. GOGL had a great breakout right here, okay, and then followed through on a pickup in volume. You can see it. And by the way, yeah, it's in a good group. We know all about this shippers, right? We had Starbulk and made money on it. Okay, it's lifting up right here. It's chopping around. You can see there's some red bars here. I'd like to show you something. This is the daily chart. What do we do next, team? Take it to the weekly. Let's see how it looks on the weekly. We see things in the weekly that you won't see on a daily. Okay. Good volume, some serious selling here though, right? And it's choppier. It's choppier on the weekly, okay? It has support here on the 8-week moving average. Let's go back to the daily. By the way, that's a good bar. This is a good bar. This is a good bar. That's a bad bar. The one saving grace is the volume on that bad bar was less than the volume on that bar. But it did get extended in price. Go back to the daily. And you look and you say, yeah, there's a tail bar. That's not bad. Right now it's loose and the market's sloppy, right? You can say, well, okay, Pat, I got a question for you. What could be a potential entry? And I'm going to show you. And it's clean and simple. Ready? Just going to connect these tops right here. There it is. That's it. The high here, and the high here. Takes that top out with volume. That could be a potential buy. It would be also pushing off the 21-day moving average. So what's it going to need? It's going to need price and volume and a good market. There you go. Good. Good. Oh, until that happens, wait, which I'm going to share this with you too. A lot of people think, oh, you know what? I think this thing's going to go. I'm going to buy here. Every stock is bigger than all of us combined. We must let the stock tell us what to do. Don't impose your will on the stocks. I'm asking you. Okay? And also know this. It's not a living entity. It doesn't know you exist. It doesn't know anybody. It doesn't know I exist. We just get in line with what it's doing. If you can accept that, you'll be light years ahead of a lot of people. There you go.
Give
I'm
a
gonna have a little
shout
tea
out
here, Owen.
here.
Is that cool?
That's cool. Give a shout out here to Calculator. He said that, hey, Pat, thank you for your candor. Love your live sessions. Rich is reposting these for me from YouTube onto Discord, so they're kind of running together, and Rich is doing a great job. It's my reading that needs help.
You're
So,
awesome.
next question up is from Jacob. This might be too big a question to answer here, so just know that if you want me to, Jacob, you could send an email to us and we'll address this. But Jacob's asking about the wash sale rule. He says, you've recently taken a small loss in a stock. Are you ever concerned about the wash sale rule when taking new positions, or can it be mostly ignored?
It's a good question. I found I just basically I ignore it. I mean, I'm aware of it, but I ignore it. And I don't want to let it influence my decision making. It's like, oh gosh, if I do that, I'm going to violate the wash sale rule. I'll just stay with it a couple more days and get hurt. I got to keep it clean. It's going, yeah, I avoided the wash sale rule, but I just got my butt kicked in a stock. Dang nabbit. I'm going to control risk first. The heck with the wash sale risk. I got to control risk. Anyway, I don't mean that in a flippant way, but that's the cold hard facts. We got to control the risk first. That's it. I'll also share this with you. Focus is very important on our stocks. Also note, I've said this before, I'm saying it again for new VIPs. Just own 8 to 10 stocks maximum. That's plenty to monitor, folks. All right? You get more than that, it's too hard. I really mean that. So focus pays. Focus pays. Now, what's hard for me right now? You see all these stocks that y'all own? I'm watching these. Okay? And that's why I encourage you, you've got to watch them too. All right? We've sold some off, but we were up to over 20, I think 21 stocks. Man, you know how hard it is to watch 21 stocks and call them out and everything? And it's not a pity party. It's just focus on them. So it's good you're watching them too. And always ask me questions, say, hey, gosh, Pat, I own this. What do I do? Just ask me. And I try to answer these things dang near real time. All right, brother, we'll take another one.
This is on bar color. Turbo Ricky is asking, what are your settings on the bars? I see a close lower than the open. It's a green bar, no red. You know what I think he's saying here is I think instead of bars, he's using candles. I put a question out there, are you using candles or bars? So let's wait for him to come back on that. Let's
Okay.
jump to Wovie.
Can I say something here real quick on this though, Owen?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think this is very important. This is a good question. There's different settings you can use on your bars. All right? I use red is down, green is up. All right? Now, I'm going to be very specific on this. By the way, URA is dropping. Hang on. Okay, bear with me. Yeah, if you own URA, all right, I'd sell. I'm looking at this here real quick. I don't want this to turn into a loss. 25%. Okay? Sell 25%. I'm going to post that real quick, Owen. I apologize, but that's priority because I know we have people in here that aren't listening right now. I don't want a profit to turn into a loss, folks. I don't like doing this. Okay. I don't like buying something and having to sell it a day later. I don't like doing that at all. But you know what I really don't like? Seeing a profit turn into a loss. That's it. That's just it. Okay. Cent, 5%.
While you're doing that, I thought I would go back to Turbo Ricky here for just a second and just say that if you're using candles, your colors are going to be different than bars. A candle stands on its own, so it's looking at the high, the low, and the close of that particular day, and that's what turns the candle red or green. But a bar is going to look at the previous day.
Yep.
So it looks at the previous day to determine whether it's going to be red or green based on the price point and the close of the previous day.
Good point, Owen. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I didn't mean to ignore it at the end. It's just I had to handle that stock.
No, no,
But
that's fine.
no, that's
I was just feeling dead air. Yeah, and with
you do,
and
Owen.
with you on the mic, it's really hard to find spots with dead air.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure there's people that wish I was dead at times. So I do like though. This is really important. I'm gonna take this a step further. This I've used these price bars forever. Now, if you're trained on candlesticks, that's great. It works for you. I just like to really look at the open, the high, the low, and the close. It really helps me analyze the charts and see, for me, if there's strength or weakness. Like people look at that and say that's a green bar on good volume. Note where it opened. It gapped up and it ran up and it closed. I'll make it even bigger. It closed below where it opened. It was met with selling pressure on heavy volume. And the next day, what's it do? Gaps up and drops again. I love knowing that. I just love that. It's for me, there's tremendous power, and I try to share it with the team, what to look for. My goal, and this is Owen's goal too, is, and Owen pours his heart into it, and so does Rich, is not just to give ideas. I really mean that, team. This is why I have a problem with that. You find somebody and they're really good and they give ideas and they quit. You're no better off. I don't want to do that. I like to show it. We, all three of us, like to explain it and show it so that you understand and can apply the concept. Folks, that is power nobody can take from you. I'm not kidding. I don't mean that in an egotistical way. It's like, yeah, I know what to do. That's big. That's huge. I have to also stress with this statement though. I'm asking you, please never get arrogant or cocky with your knowledge, your performance, and your stocks. Research indicates that for most people, I'm going to be brutally honest, their biggest losses come after a time of good profitability. And if we're pragmatic and think about it, it makes sense. You know what we start getting? The Midas touch. I know what to do. I know what to do. And all of a sudden, yeah, you argue with your price and you get killed. And you can say, oh, come on. No, because it's happened to me. So, yeah, everything that you hear that sounds stupid, I've done.
We were just talking about that the other day, Pat. You and I talking about how your biggest losses come after your biggest gains. And I don't mean yours. I mean that's what my experience was as well.
Yeah. Yeah. See, what Owen's really saying is, yeah, Pat, we were just talking about that yesterday, how stupid you are. And that really hurt me. But oh, I've known Owen a long time, folks. He's a good friend of mine. He's a really good, dear friend of mine. So, and also he's a technological wizard, and I ain't kidding. Good Lord. Okay, let's. In fact, the computer that's in this room, that's about the size of a Volkswagen. Owen built it for me. So
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to add on to that room to get that computer in there, by the way. I don't think I ever apologized for that.
Oh man, we have fun too. Okay, I remember. Oh, and remember doing the IBD meetups? And I'd be up there on the stage, and I'd be talking, and I'd look at my chest, and it wasn't Owen, it was somebody else. They had a laser pointer on my chest as I moved. That was always a warm and fuzzy feeling. Anyway, let's do some more questions. Sorry.
All right, let's take a look at Navios Maritime for Wovey. He says that he sold it all when it broke the all-time high. And rightfully so. I mean, it's not a market, he says, to hold for longer moves in his opinion.
Good. First off, congratulations. You made money. That's huge. That's huge. Here is a great tactic to strive to do is don't sell all of it. Limit losses. Don't limit profits. We sell all of something. What if it keeps going up in price? What if the thing hits 40 bucks a share and you're going, gosh, I just screwed up. That causes negative energy, negative emotions. By selling some, that's why we sell off in increments normally. Sell 20%, sell 25%, and then let it work. Knowing that if it comes down and takes out like the highs or whatever, that bar, you sell the rest for a profit. You're in great shape. But what if it just keeps going up and up? And I'm not saying it will, but we've limited our profits. It's crucial to limit losses, but not profits. Ride those things as long as we can, and more money is made. More money is made. Another key point. Never let it
Let
profit
me
turn
have
into
you
a loss.
expand on that just a little bit, because just yesterday someone asked me about selling, and I talked about in Discord how we sell 20%, 20%. We keep selling off in fifths. And I wasn't really considering the whippiness of the market. I was just considering that that's what we typically do. And I was taking a task on it and said that, hey, usually what's happening right now is Pat's putting out alerts that are selling 25, 50, 75, 100%. And so you want to expand on that, because when market trends, we want to sell in fifths.
Yep,
But right now, there's no trend.
that's it. Perfect point. Thank you, Owen. So what do? We'll sell more. We'll sell more, and if not all of it. Okay, folks, this is a choppy market right now. This is weak. I say this and it sounds really cute, and I don't mean in a cute way. This is the S&P 500. The air is better above a rising 50-day moving average line. The air is worse below a falling 50-day moving average line. The air is much worse below the 200-day moving average line. That's it. It sounds really cute and funny, and I don't mean it that way. It's just the cold, hard facts. Things are better above the moving averages on the stocks and on the indices. Look at both, and it helps guide you. I mean, like right now, folks, things are rough, right? So your exposure is very small. You've got profitability, but we're not going to let those turn into losses, all right? I mean, look at Northrop. We've been selling some off, right? 20%, 1/4 of remaining sold, 1/4 of remaining sold. Why? Because of this market. And if this drops, we'll sell more. Do not think. Good investing is not, oh, I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to sell all of it. I'm going to say it again. By doing that, we are sabotaging ourselves because we are limiting profits. And nothing is more maddening from a psychological perspective to sell something at 20 bucks a share or 40 bucks a share, and a week later it's 50, and you can't find a way to get back in it. That's negative energy, which is not conducive to moving forward and profitability. And you can say, oh, come on. Yeah, no, why can I say it? Because I broke that rule too. I used to sell stuff. Northrop, you go, look at that move this first day. Man, that's huge. Most people, like in a crummy market, I'm going to make this amount of money, and the next day it gaps up, and you got that gap up. I'm selling that sucker at the open. What a dang gift. So you sell it at $4.15 a share. And you miss another 70 points. I don't want to do that. It's hard to make 70 points. There you go. So that's why we sell off in increments. It's good for us financially, but it's also good for us psychologically, which leads to better decision making, which leads, I'll say it again, if you are going through a really rough time in one way, shape, or form, it's best to kind of pull back and back off what you're doing. Okay? Just got to share that with you. And this isn't paid in place, this is a business. So There you go.
Hey, you want to talk about weekly charts? What do you look for in weekly charts? Attaboy is asking.
Oh yeah, this is a great question. Team, I will tell you this, on when I'm scanning the charts at night on MarketSmith, even when I'm doing on my Ensign Software, I have weekly on the left and daily on the right. The weekly chart can give us insights that the daily may not. All right. And I don't know if I can find one right now. Here's Apache. You can say, oh, that looks pretty good. Let's look at the weekly. Watch this. You're going to love this. And by the way, I haven't referred this person, whoever, they didn't ask me this before and I'm set this up. No, this is just doing it real time right now. You can say, oh, it's just going sideways. It's in a good group. Boy, it picked up on pretty good volume right here on the weekly chart. This is weekly. Okay, I'll make it a little bigger. Oh, look at that. Gosh. Yeah, maybe if it takes out that line, that'd be pretty good. That, folks, it does it. And look at the dang volume. People saw it and they voted. And you know what else they did? They voted not only on the weekly, but by default, what else do? They voted on the daily. Look at the volume pickup. You know what I call that? That's just sweet potato pie. I love that. So I will tell you something. I'm going to show you this. Let's see if we can find it. Here it is. Weekly. This is alphabetical on the NASDAQ, but we can do it on any list. Weekly on the left. See where it says weekly? I'll highlight it. See where it says weekly? Daily on the right. And you know what I do? I'll show you what I'll do. We'll just do this. Let's go here. We're going to do the front page. Front page. This is missing data. The Dow is, because it's an index. Nothing great. S&P 500. Weekly, daily. All right. Nothing great. Okay. I like this tail bar, but you're living below the moving averages. You got to be careful. NASDAQ comp, that's an index, won't update. Apache, weekly. Look at the volume pickup right there. Look at it here. Look at the volume pickup on these bars. Done. AR, weekly. You can see these tops. Look at the accumulation on the weekly. Look at that. Starts to lift and it goes. Hold on one second because I know this is my buddy in Texas. No, it's not. The phone line says unavailable. Here you go. And it's gone. Arch. Look at the volume on that bar. That's beautiful. Arch. And by the way, when I'm making the key list, I'm serious. I've got weekly on the left and daily on the right on every chart as I'm going through it. CF. Lifting up. There we go. CEIX. Look at the volume on that bar. Look at that pickup. Right there it's saying, something's going on. That's institutional money. There we go. Cleveland Cliff. Look at the volume on this bar, folks. Check this out. You say, I see that. And we'll take this back over to here. You say, yeah, oh, okay. Those are the tops. Hold on. Bear with me.
While Pat's on the phone, I'll just say, hey, Turbo, Ricky, for big green volume pickup, how does it work on intraday bars? Well, I mean, if I understand your question right, you're just asking what happens on the volume bar. You're going to see a spike. I mean, we're looking for volume on a lower time frame. Go down to an hourly or a 30 or a 10-minute chart, and looking for that volume. If you have questions beyond that, shoot an email to our help desk at hello@missionwinners.com, and I'll get into it more with you. But from what I'm reading there, I think that's what you're asking.
And I'm back. Thank you, and I apologize for the interruption.
That's all right. I took over.
You're good, buddy. See, you see what's going on here, folks. Owen's slowly pushing me out. Oh, man, I'll tell you, it's sad. Anyway, just kidding. We get along great. He knows. The reason Owen puts up with me because he knows I'm a little bit crazy. So here we go. Here's Cleveland Cliffs. Here's the weekly. Here's the daily. And what catches our eye? You're going to say, I don't see too much on the daily, on the weekly, but ooh, the volume's picking up on the daily. Look at that. And it does this, and this, and this. This is the daily. And you ready for this? And there's the weekly. And by the way, you can't catch me in a lie. See the date there, $25.95 or the price? There it is, $25.95. That's awesome. It works. So the moral of the story is when I'm scanning, I have weekly on the left, there's CNQ, look at the volume pickup. And I have daily on the right. And it's a great way to see strength. I encourage you to do this, okay? When scanning, this is the way I do it. Now, I do have to share this with you, and I've said this before, but this is for new VIPs. Something I encourage you to do. I'm going to go back to the daily here so I can look at stuff to monitor our page, because this is priority. Your priority here too. Market's still weak. We're being cautious. Notice no buying yesterday. Notice how we were cautious. It's good we were. Team, I've said this before, but this is for new VIPs. All right. I encourage you. Have for your eyes a black background because it offers a higher resolution, and green is up, red is down, and have these bars coincide with these bars. It will help you see strength and weakness much faster. I've used this. A good buddy of mine who's a VIP, who's very good. We worked on this for a long time, this color scheme. And I've used this since the last century. And it's just easy on the eyes. Just easy on the eyes. So there you go. Okay, I'm sorry if I went a little longer on that, but again,
That's
I
all
want to
right.
do it justice.
We need to wrap up. There's a question here. I don't know if we want to get into this. Might be too big to do right now, but Wovie's asking, what do you say to a trader who's too nervous, not confident enough to put on positions with size? Seems like he says is a good one. It's something that he feels.
Oh, I have to commend you for that question because you're being brutally honest. Team, I'm speaking from my heart. This is tough. And we really have to take a hard look at ourselves and say, what am I doing right? And what do I need to fix? How can I get better? All right. And yeah, I won't lie. Have I sat at this desk before years ago with tears in my eyes, like going, what the heck am I doing here? Shoot. And again, I had to make money. I really had to go at it then. I still do, but that's a different story. Anyway, here's what you do. We want to build that foundation. And this is for everybody. Everybody. How do we build a foundation? We need to build a foundation of success. Start smaller. If you can't make money with 20 shares or 50 shares, you're not going to make money with 100 or 500 or 1,000. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. You're not. All right. Build the success with less shares. And you can say, I won't make as much money. And I'll say, yes. And if you're wrong, you won't lose as much, which protects financial capital and it protects mental capital. So start smaller, less shares, experience success over time. Not like, oh, I had a good week. I guess it's time to really push it. No, please give it weeks, give it months of continued success. And then and only then start building up your share size. Okay? This is a fact. This isn't just some hocus pocus stuff. This Marco Wizard's books talks about these things. Start smaller, build success. You're refining your skills on what to look for. You're refining your trade management skills. And by so doing, you will start experiencing more success. All right? And then you can start building more shares. And please note this. Always, no matter what share size you have, team, I'm begging you, always control risk. Never suffer a major loss. Price is good above the line and it's bad below. And as I said before, and I'm saying it again, Market Wizards research from Dr. Van Tharp indicates for most investors, their biggest losses occur after a time of success, profitability. Please don't get the Midas touch. Always be grateful, always be thankful, always be humbled, always be disciplined. And you can say, oh, you sound like you're on a soapbox. No, I'm just speaking from my heart. Like I said, I've had grown men call me up crying, go, what the I'm doing, Pat? We have to work through it. Have I ever been really whipped around? Yeah, anybody who says they haven't been is a liar. Everybody's been whipped around, and we have to refine our skills and tactics to control it. This that's the real world, folks. That's not textbook. Do that and build on it. And keep and don't sit there and say, "Well, Pat, I'm doing 100 shares now and I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to jump up to 500." You'll have too much emotion in that. It will cloud your thinking, judgment, and tactics. Go slow. If you're doing 50 shares now and you're consistently profitable, bump it up to 75 or 100. Okay? You're doing 100 shares right now. Jump it up to 150 or 200. That's it. Please don't go crazy with it. I went long on this, but this is really important. I say this every time we have a session. The biggest part of this game is not what is before our eyes. It is what's between our ears. And if you're going through a rough time in the markets, back up a bit. Go easy. No vengeance trading. Never think, oh, I'm going to get it back on this one. Big mistake. Big mistake. And by the way, everything I just shared with you, all those rules I just shared, I broke all of them. Okay? I've sat in that seat and go, what am I doing here? And to look at my wife and kids and know that I let them down that day was hard. So control that risk. It works. It'll keep you profitable. It'll keep you in the game for a long time. I'm sorry if I talked a little longer on this, but I do. I take your questions seriously. Okay? That's where I come from. Anyway, Owen, I'm sorry I went over, but I wanted to address that.
That's all right. We're gonna take a look at two more charts. I promised Chris we'd do this. So give us an update on ARLP.
Done, buddy. I'm done talking. I don't want to do that. Just kidding.
I know. You're wearing out. I know.
Here we go. Okay, ARLP.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's good. It lifted up on good volume. It had a reversal bar here on fairly heavy volume. It's chopping around. It's up today with the market down. What's it need? It needs really good volume. But I'd like to take it a step further for you. I'm going to take this line off a minute here because it's blocking something important. See where it closed? It closed down on the day. This is why it's so important that we look at every price and volume bar and open, high, low, close. You can say, on this bar, Pat, it closed at 1501. On this bar, it closed at 1506. It closed down a nickel. You can say, how do you know that? Well, I want to show you. This is important. You see where the C is? That's the close on the bar. Watch when I put it on that bar. It was 1501. See it? Over here where it says C, 1501. On this bar was 1506. Closed down a nickel. It's not that bad. And it also closed in the top, right here, closed in the top third of its range. It found support on the rising ADMA. It's a leading stock and a leading group, and it followed through here. By watching this closely, it can allow you to stay in some shares, if not all shares. And note this, it fell, this bar's low did not take out the previous bar's low. Just simple things. This is not like Albert Einstein's type of stuff. This is just looking at the open, high, low, close, this bar versus this bar, and looking at price and volume and how did it close. And then it lifted off today. Now, would you buy more today? Not yet. Why? A, the market's bad, right? The market. And B, it's lifting, but not really heavy volume. So we sit tight. What would we like to see? I'll show you. And I haven't looked at this chart yet. Here we go. This is the hourly. Funny how it basically almost came up to the same price to the penny, right? It's funny how it happens, ain't it, Owen?
Yep.
So what do we need to see? You've got a line right here on the hourly. Take that out, go back to the daily, and there's the line. There's the tops. Take out this top, and what will it need, folks? It will need to push through these tops on good volume pickup on the 30-minute chart, right? And what else will we need? We will need to see the market acting okay. And at this point in time, the S&P 500 is right at its lows of the day. So until that turns, we just sit tight and wait. It's that easy. It's easy. So anyway, I went a little longer there, but I apologize if I overstepped or overwent on time, but it's a great question. I wanted to address it.
Yeah,
So
and it's the same thing with METC. I mean, Chris was asking about that too, and it did pretty much the same thing. I mean, it went up there and it was just kind of rest and went to sleep right about at the pivot point. Now it's pulling back a couple of pennies, but there's just no volume there to push
that's
it
it.
through.
Good analysis. See, that's team. I got to tell you, that's why I love working with Owen. Is he knows stocks and charts too, and he's successful, and that's why we bounce stuff around. It's never a case where I hope when you're talking to me, you're like, I don't think Pat knows what I'm talking about, except the broken wing butterfly. I had to say it. I'm sorry. Gotta have fun
Well,
too.
was that an introduction for me to talk about broken wings for the next hour?
Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's do it. So anyway, is that good, Owen? Does it sound
That's
good?
good. We're all wrapped up. I'm just going to make one comment here on YouTube. I see Marzi said you made it sound so simple, and it is after a while looking at these things. You know, Pat has looked at these charts for decades, and I have too. And once you look at these charts for a few years, people get into this. They join. They get into this, and they think it's going to be easy and quick, and they just find out it's not. In fact, one of the things that we just put out, and I'm actually in process of developing. Rich and I want to turn this in more of a university, and be real upfront that this takes time to learn.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah,
huge learning
it
curve.
does.
But once you get it, it is relatively simple.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. You can scan them. Hey, team, I've said this, and I'm not lying. I I know I've looked at way over 1 million charts. Okay, and it's not a pity party. It's just, but by doing it, it ties in. All of a sudden, your mind knows what to look for, and it becomes automatic. It really does. But as Owen said, it takes time. And his point is brought up too about, we want to almost turn this into a university situation with teaching this, really going through it. Like what we do here in the mornings. I don't want to just give ideas. I want to teach this in depth, specifically. And Owen's the same way, and so's Rich. How to do it, what to look for in the charts. Most people gloss over it. I don't want to do that. I want you to know it. It will help you make better decisions, which will help you control risk and help you make money. That's it. And
Rich
ride
is
trends.
reminding me to mention that our extended membership plans for year and 5-year promotions will be ending soon, and we'll adjust our prices up to reflect our monthly new for 2022. But you can still get in for a few more days. We're going to run it through the 15th of this month.
Oh, very good. Excellent. Thank you. Which leads to a very important point. Team, and I'm speaking from my heart, thank you for being VIPs. Thank you for letting us work for you. It's a pleasure. I find this stimulating. I really do. I love the markets. I love stocks. I love teaching this. It's just, and helping. So good job to all of you. It's great. And like I said, and this ain't a line from a salesperson. This is the cold hard reality. We'll help you any way we can. And that's why we take the time we do to talk about this stuff. And really nuts and bolts it so that you own it. You own the concepts. There you go.
Thanks, Pat.
Hey, thank you all very much. I appreciate it. I'm going to check in with my parole officer now. Just kidding. Anyway, good job to all of you. Let's keep on going and just run them. Let's manage them. And make money, and part of making money is not losing. And we're in charge of both, and we run them well. Good job, and we'll be in there talking. And I thank you.